How's it everyone? Today I'm here with my WWE Monday Night Raw, May 1st, 2017 live experience video. Of course, you guys do not know, I attended Monday Night Raw last night live from the Golden One Center in Sacramento, California. Of course, this is the follow-up from Payback, and pretty much this video I'll pretty much be discussing the moment I got to the arena, pretty much up until I left, give my thoughts on the overall show itself, talking about each match and segment, going through just giving brief, thoughts on everything. And yeah, you guys are by now, I've been on this channel for a while, pretty much know how these experience videos go and I do them, so without further ado, just jump right into the video. I didn't leave to go to the arena until like around 3 o'clock, just because, show started at 4:30. It's not a long drive, it's probably 20 minutes if that away, but there was some traffic. People just don't know how to drive in California, unfortunately, so that was definitely an experience here where people just did not know how to drive. Some guy actually stopped in the middle of the freeway, like he parked his car and got out because I guess he dropped something. I don't know what it was. He actually ran out of his car in the middle of the freeway, by the way. I'm not even over-exaggerating. This guy, I don't know what he's thinking. I don't know if he dropped his phone or what, but this guy pretty much risked his life to grab something that he dropped and get back in his car. Absolutely ridiculous. So, just terrible drivers. Can't stand it. I know it's way worse than Southern California because I'm in Northern California. Southern California, way worse, but California drivers just don't know how to drive. I don't think actually, you know what? I don't think anyone knows how to drive because when I was in Florida for WrestleMania, people there didn't know how to fucking drive, so driving, just no one knows how to drive apparently. So that was that. We had to park in a parking garage, which was like $25, which isn't terrible. Was it 25 or 20? I think it might have been 20 actually. I think no, yeah, it was 20 because the other parking space was 25 and what we parked in was 20. Got into the arena. Actually walked into the arena. Very disappointed the fact that they didn't have a merch truck, because usually every show there's a merch truck outside of the arena, but there's literally just a stand. Like it was like some indie merch stand style stuff. Like I'm talking like they had like 10 items maybe there. They had like 5 shirts and like 5 other accessories, which I thought was just really odd that they just had like some cheap budget table outside the arena. Because most people wait till they go inside to get merch. That's why I like going to the merch truck outside, because it's not usually a very long line for it. So the fact that they didn't have one was kind of disappointing. Got into the arena right away, just a massive line for the merch line. So I'm like, no, I know there's more than one, so I'll just go find the other one, which of course the other one was the complete opposite side of the arena. So we walked around all the way to the other corner, and then I saw the merch table, or the merch stand. I was like, oh, great, there wasn't a line at all. But the way it was like surfaced, the merch stand, it was going downwards. Like there was the merch stand, and then like as the line went down, it was like an incline. So when you first saw it, you're like, oh, that's not a massive line at all. But once you walk up to it and see the massive incline of people, then you're like, oh shit. So it was a pretty decent line. It was a lot shorter than the other merch stand though, so I won't give that credit. But it was still a wait. It was like 20-minute wait, and I didn't get many things on the merch table. I only got 2 things. Of course, you can probably tell. One being the Seth Rollins Kingslayer shirt with the Seth Rollins logo on the back, and there's another one on the back. It says "Burn It Down." I want to get this at WrestleMania weekend, but I figured I knew I was going to the show. When I went to WrestleMania, I knew I was going to the show, so like, no, I'll just wait till I go to that show to buy that shirt. So that's what I did. And the second thing I got was, and I only got 2 things, was the Thank You Taker shirt. It says right there, Thank You Taker, with him taking off the hat, and then pretty basic back with just the Undertaker logo. Really like this shirt. As soon as they release them, I want to get this one of the 2. I know the other one just says Thank You Taker with like his logo on it, but this one is more symbolic. You have him taking his hat off for the final time at WrestleMania, and it says Thank You Taker. So definitely like this shirt a lot more than the other one. So those were the only 2 things I got. I was going to get a third thing, which was the Finn Bálor Demon Pop. They were selling them for $10. The FYE exclusive Demon Pop. $10. Absolute fucking steal. And I saw it there. But by the time I got up there, I noticed the display one was gone, and I asked them, and they said, yeah, they sold out of them. They were surprised because I guess the workers didn't expect them to sell as much as they did, but I guess they sold out, which was a bummer because it was there when I got in line. By the time I got up there, they were sold out, so I was disappointed by that. And I don't know if you guys can tell, but I actually had the regular Finn Bálor pop right there with the AJ Styles one. I went pop-upping this weekend, found those 2 along with Stone Cold right there at GameStop. So I had the Foley and Goldberg ones coming in the mail. Because they were sold out there, so I got those 2. The Chase for Finn Bálor, if I find it down the line. It's gonna be a hassle to find that one, but the Demon one I really want to get because I know FYE is selling it online for 15, and plus, since the nearest FYE is like an hour away from me to have to order it, which is probably like another $5 for shipping. So I'm probably have to pay like $10 or $20 for the Demon Pop. So the fact that it was $10 there and I couldn't get it disappoints me, but what can you do? We got some food. I bought a jumbo hot dog, which, by the way, the jumbo hot dog at the arena legitimately seemed like a regular hot dog. I don't see what the difference was, so I kind of felt ripped up by that. They weren't selling any new cups. They were just selling the WrestleMania cups right there for the collector's cup, so I didn't bother getting one, so I just got a regular, like, you know, the big cups itself with the beers. And then we made our way down to our seats, but as we were making our way to the seats, they were already starting the main event tapings, which was Drew Gulak and Lindsay Dorado. I heard them make their entrances as I was walking to get some food. Then I went down, of course, to ringside to my seats, which had great seats. Ringside, third row, directly from the stage. Ring 4, section or row C, in seats 5 and 6 to be exact. There are the tickets. I don't care if you guys get the barcode because they're useless now because I already went to the event. So those are my seats. Great seats overall. Really enjoyed sitting there. I thought I had some excellent pictures, and I was actually featured on the camera a few times during the show. So great seats there, nothing to complain about. Drew Gulak got the win after the Dragon Sleeper hold. Why Drew Gulak isn't featured on Raw more often is beyond me. I feel like he's one of the better cruiserweights, and the fact that they don't really utilize him, to me, is just absolutely stupid. So from what I saw, you know, they did some. They had a good solid closing in their match. So Gulak gets the win. Nothing really much to say about there. And then we had Kurt Hawkins versus Curtis Axel, which I just did not care about. I don't care about either guy. Curtis Axel, of course, was trying to get that face, sympathy face. He was trying to Hulk up, and Kurt Hawkins just beat him down and cut him off every chance he got. But eventually, Curtis Axel got the victory with the perfect plex. So that was the main event. Nothing spectacular going on there. And then I noticed before the show starts, all the female wrestlers on the Raw division make their entrance. Sasha Banks, Mickie James, Dana Brooke, Emma, all of them make their entrance before the show starts. I noticed they're setting the podium up, so I thought, they're probably doing a coronation, and that's what they end up doing. The pyro hits, the show starts, and I'm actually featured when the show starts, which is pretty cool. After the pyro hits, they go to my section, and I'm actually making a crazy wild face. So that's pretty funny to look back on. So yeah, that's where I was sitting, and I'll probably put a screenshot of the picture of me on Raw on there. So like I said, I was featured a few times from what I went back and watched a little bit of. So that's pretty cool. But the Bliss celebration, I thought was definitely a good way to start the show. I thought Bliss on the mic just absolutely, she's great. She's probably the best female character in the division, if you ask me. I thought her real rundowns on Mickie James and Bayley and Sasha Banks were great. But the thing that kind of sucked about this segment and the match itself was they just focused on the main four, being Bliss, Nia Jax, Bayley, and Sasha Banks. I feel like they didn't really pay much attention to anyone else. So that was a whole shift, and of course the whole brawl at the end when Bayley flips the podium or the this pedal, whatever she's standing on. She flips it, and of course makes a whole big brawl happen. So that happens, and it's kind of funny because they had the referees break it up leading into commercial break, but as soon as commercial break ends, they all just get out of the ring like they're perfectly fine. So I thought that was pretty funny, which of course led into an 8-woman tag team match. Bliss, Jax, Emma, and Alicia Fox versus Sasha Banks, Bayley, Dana, and who was the other one? I'm drawing a complete blank here. Mickie James, sorry. The match itself was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I thought the women looked good, especially from my view. Alexa Bliss directly in front of me during the match. Can't complain there, if you know what I'm talking about. But it was good. Again, I feel like they only focused on the main four, being Bliss, Nia Jax, Sasha Banks, and Bayley. I feel like all the other female competitors really weren't utilized. Like Emma didn't really do anything in the match. I mean, Alicia Fox and Sasha Banks had a nice beat the shit out of each other segment during the match. Typical heels is playing on Sasha Banks the entire match. Sasha Banks was getting her ass kicked. Some female, little girl from the other section next to me was screaming her lungs out like she was watching a murder happen, and I thought it was absolutely hilarious. But it was a good, solid match. Definitely a good way to open the show. I liked the fact that the women got the first half hour of Raw. The segment was good, and the tag match was fun as well. I enjoyed that. And Alexa Bliss getting a pin on Bayley, I enjoyed because I'm a big Alexa Bliss fan, and Bayley, I don't know, I thought it was cool to see her get the pin rather than, Mickie James or someone else. So, good, solid match to open the show and segment. Enjoyed that. From there, I'm going to go to Enzo versus Luke Gallows. Always entertaining to watch Enzo live. I've never been a big fan of Enzo and Big Cass, but, they're always entertaining to watch, and their skit, with them, Enzo doing the big dance and everything. It's always entertaining to watch. Anderson Gallows attacked him from behind, setting up the match. Match itself was decent, it was just entertaining to watch Enzo get thrown around and the way he was selling, the facial expressions. Say what you want about Enzo. I mean, I trash him all the time about his in-ring work, but he is entertaining to watch, to say the least. So, That's what it was. Gallows gets the win after, Big Cass chases Anderson out of the building. So that was whatever. The Neville TJ Perkins, backstage skit was what it was. Then we had the Seth Rollins promo where Seth Rollins comes out. Everyone's going crazy for Seth Rollins. He cuts the promo talking about, how the last month or so has been hectic with him facing Triple H, getting rid of Samoa Joe. Now he's trying to refocus himself on the Universal Championship as well as Brock Lesnar. He wants Brock Lesnar, and I really do hope we get Brock Lesnar and Seth Rollins again. I feel like we were robbed their first match at Battleground because that was just, pretty much set up the Lesnar-Taker match at SummerSlam. So I feel like we never got the opportunity to see what they can really do in the ring with each other. So hopefully we do get a Seth Rollins, Brock Lesnar title match down the line. And of course, as he's talking about the Universal title, Finn Bálor comes out. Awesome to see Finn Bálor come out. Mark out to see him and Rollins in the ring together. Bálor talking about, how the Universal title line starts behind him. And then, of course, Dean Ambrose comes out, talks about since Brock Lesnar's not around, the number one title on Raw is the Intercontinental title, and they should be focusing on that title. And then, of course, The Miz comes out to tremendous heat, talking about how he was one that made the Intercontinental title prestigious, and ever since Ambrose has won it, it's just been absolutely nothing again. And, Ambrose calls Kurt, and apparently it's a triple threat match. Number one contenders triple threat match, the Intercontinental title. Rollins, Bálor, Miz, main event. Should be absolutely awesome. Love that segment. I thought everyone looked great. Even Ambrose, who has kind of been like iffy on the mic and promos as of late. I thought he cut a very entertaining promo. Seth Rollins was, very good when he came out, and Bálor, again, I said this in my Payback review. I like that he's showing his more of a personality, and I feel like he did that here as well. And Miz, being the great character that he is, was, great in the segment as well. So, awesome segment from start to finish. Really enjoyed that, setting up the main event. From there, I'm going to go to the 6-man Cruiserweight tag team match with Tony Nese, Noam Dar, and Brian Kendrick versus Akira Tozawa, Jack Gallagher, and Rich Swann. Good match here. I enjoyed it. Just felt like it went on a little too long. It was one of those matches where it's just like, okay, can this just end already? Because, it's gone past the point where I've had interest in. But it was entertaining. Akira Tozawa was just getting beat down from Jordan match. Noam Dar, I don't think anyone in the world likes Noam Dar. He just sucks, and him just trying to get the heat on the apron, just no one cared for him. And Rich Swann was entertaining. I thought his little hot tag where he's just going absolute hate shit was entertaining. And Jack Gallagher absolutely killed. I forgot, was it Noam Dar? I don't remember who it was. But he absolutely killed someone with his running dropkick in the corner. Absolutely vicious. So that was a fun match. Just felt like it went on a little too long, and the crowd was into it still. So that was what it was. Then we had the Cesaro and Sheamus promo talking about the Hardys. The crowd chanting, "You look stupid," at Cesaro and Sheamus. Good solid promo from both men. Cesaro hasn't really been known for his promos, but I felt like he did a solid work here. And him and Sheamus definitely developed more of their heel persona. I like the explanation behind it, behind their heel turn. And I like the new look as well. I thought they looked, even the glasses and the jackets, the little things, but I definitely think they look really, make them look like legit heels. And of course, the Hardys come out, Matt cutting, pretty much a broken promo using his, his vocabulary and just the way he was speaking. And then of course, I fucking lost my shit when he said there's only one thing we can do to you, and that is delete. Very happy that the Hardy Boys are, embracing their brokenness slowly but surely. Especially the fact that you had Matt pretty much do the delete thing when kind of he was just doing it, on the side, but now he's fully going with the delete. And I just thought it was an awesome promo and a good segment, with the Hardys chasing off Cesaro and Sheamus. So that was great. Really enjoyed that segment. And very, very happy the Hardys are fully embracing the brokenness. And, I'm pretty sure we won't see the full brokenness till after they lose the tag team titles. But I like that, it's happening. We're getting more and more of it week by week. So really enjoyed the Hardy Boys interrupting Cesaro and Sheamus. Backstage, had a Miz interview with Dean Ambrose interviewing him towards the end. Entertaining segment there. Loved Ambrose's skates throughout the night, by the way. And then we go to Apollo Crews versus Heath Slater. Nothing to talk about this match. Someone actually brought out a beach ball. And Beach Ball Mania tried to go in full effect, but the security guard popped the ball, which, if you watch this match and towards the end of it, you just hear a loud boos out of nowhere. That's what it was. The security guard getting the beach ball and popping it. But uneventful match. I don't think anyone cared to see it. Apollo Crews wins, and only really noteworthy thing noting about that match was Rhino posing after the end of the match, photobombing them, which I thought was hilarious. So that was that. From there, I'm going to go to Kurt Angle's promo, where he tried to go out there and pretty much explain how Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman are feeling but he didn't get the opportunity. All he said was they're not done with each other, and before he said anything else, Bray Wyatt came out. And, you know, I didn't like this promo. I felt like it didn't really accomplish anything. You just had Bray Wyatt introduce himself and say that, oh, if you get in my way, we'll have problems, something like that. The only entertaining part of this segment, in my opinion, was the guy in the crowd with the sheep mask, pointing the light directly in his face. I thought that was more creepy than anything Bray Wyatt's ever said in his career. So that's my stance on that. I didn't like Bray Wyatt ruining Kurt Angle's promo, so fuck you, Bray. Just a very pointless segment. Even the people like in my section are saying like, wow, that was very, very pointless, and it was. So didn't accomplish anything if you ask me. From there, I'm going to the Seth Rollins interview backstage where Dean Ambrose interviews him. I thought they had a very good segment back there with them kind of like one-up each other, where Rollins saying that he's, you know, that he's beaten Dean Ambrose, and Dean Ambrose saying that he'll do whatever you can to retain his title, but Rollins saying that, you know what, I've, you know, just, you know, taking stubble jabs at each other while being friendly. I enjoyed that, and I thought Ambrose's, you know, back to you, Gorilla line was great. So really enjoyed that backstage skit. Austin Aries versus TJ Perkins. It was a good match, but just no one cared. TJP just, I don't care to see him, and it sucks because I like Austin Aries, but I couldn't get in this match. No one in the arena cared about this match. There were Austin Aries chants towards the end of it, but for the most part, just no one absolutely cared, and the crowd was completely dead for it. So that was a shame, but Austin Aries wins with the last chancery, and of course TJP does his beatdown afterwards. So just good match, just no one cared about it whatsoever, and it was kind of putting me to sleep, honestly, as well. So I think it was just bad timing on the portion of the show, because, you know, third hour is where the crowd, you know, kind of starts to calm down to prepare for the main event. So that's what it was. And then, of course, the Bálor interview backstage with Dean Ambrose, that was great. You know, with Ambrose saying, "For love of God, eat a carb," and give him a donut. Very stubble, but very, very funny. Segment, of course, Elias Sampson with his guitar backstage going around, and Dean Ambrose, you know, talking to him, saying, "Can you play Pearl Jam?" or whatever it was, which is very, very funny. I thought, like I said, Dean Ambrose's skits throughout the night were very entertaining. And then, you know, you had the Golden Truth interview backstage set with our skit with Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle announces the tag team tournament for next week. Don't really care for it, to be honest. And Golden Truth, I find hilarious that they think they should get a tag title shot after not being on Raw for several months. So very funny. And then we go to the main event, which was, of course, the Triple Threat number one contenders match for the Intercontinental Championship. Seth Rollins versus Finn Bálor versus The Miz. Fantastic main event. This was absolutely awesome. I love, you know, of course, them playing, you know, pretty much freeze tag with The Miz. You know, The Miz trying to escape and, you know, trying to use Maurice as a human shield throughout the beginning of it. But, you know, they finally caught on to The Miz and absolutely just beat the shit out of him. And I thought that was a great way to start the match, and just the way the match progressed. It reminded me a lot of the Triple Threat match from SmackDown Live's Wild Card Finals with AJ Styles, Baron Corbin, Dolph Ziggler. Just the way that, you know, the moves were being transitioned, and, you know, the stubble, you know, counters, and just the way everyone was just going after each other. I thought it played out great. Loved the spots with Finn Bálor, just looking like a total beast. You know, throwing The Miz into Seth Rollins and giving Seth Rollins a drop kick, which transitioned The Miz into a DDT. Stuff things like that, and you know, Finn Bálor is absolutely killing The Miz with a nice kick on the outside, followed by a tremendous drop kick into the barricade from Seth Rollins. Just thought everyone worked hard in this match, and it made it to a hell of a main event. It was probably been the best Raw main event, and I don't know how long. I just thought the match was absolutely incredible, and it gave a SmackDown Live main event feel to it. You know, SmackDown Live pretty much delivers with their main event matches, and it felt like a pay-per-view main event as well. It felt like the crowd was completely into it. I was into it. I was losing my mind over the spots. Very scary spot though with Seth Rollins, who did the crossbody at the top rope and almost landed on his neck. That was a pretty scary spot there. But Seth Rollins in the frog splash, hitting the superplex, followed by Falcon Arrow and The Miz, made for some great for some great near falls, and just a very energetic crowd. Not sure how it came off on TV. I've yet to rewatch that match back, but live, absolutely incredible. Loved every second of it. And it was a fantastic main event. Really enjoyed that. And, you know, the ending made sense as well. I knew The Miz was going to win. I didn't know how, but you had Samoa Joe come out and absolutely destroy Seth Rollins by, you know, just tossing him on the ground, killing him in the process. Finn Bálor taking advantage of that, hitting the dropkick on The Miz, going for the coup de grace, but the lights go out. Bray Wyatt's in the ring, knocks him down. His sister Abigail disappears, and The Miz pins Finn Bálor to tremendous heat. To an awesome main event, like I said. I really enjoyed that. Thought it was absolutely incredible triple threat. and it was awesome. By far the Raw's best main event this year so far. So really hope that match makes it on the Best of Raw and SmackDown Live 2017 DVD set next year. But that was a really awesome way to end the show. And then on TV it ends, but the show goes on afterwards. Of course, the dark segment, because it wasn't a match, it was a segment. The Miz comes back out, gloating that he won, that he's not a loser, that he's not a failure, that he's a winner. Gloating how he's going to become the next Intercontinental Champion. Then Dean Ambrose comes out and praises the Miz, saying that you know what you say you are. Finn Bálor and Seth Rollins make their way back in the ring. You know, they're playing the Miz, saying like, oh yeah, we're back in the ring to, you know, celebrate your win. Let's do your catchphrase with the Miz. Like, you really want me to do my catchphrase? Yeah. They're like, yeah. You know, screwing with them. And of course, the Miz tries to do his "because I'm the Miz and I'm awesome" line. But then they attack him. You know, Seth Rollins is his new finisher, knee on the Miz, followed by Ambrose hitting Dirty Deeds, followed by Finn Bálor hitting the coup de grace on the Miz to send the crowd home happy. There wasn't a dark match or anything like that. It was just all three of them beating down the Miz, and that was it. And they celebrated. Finn Bálor and Seth Rollins went around the ring, you know, doing the typical face, you know, high fives everyone on the way out deal. And that was the show. Like I said, I thought overall it was an awesome show live. Probably Raw of the year thus far. I know it's been the lowest rated Raw of the year so far, which will probably change next week considering it's a taped show. So I'm pretty sure next week's will be lower than this week's. But you know, even though it's a low rated Raw, I still thought the show quality itself was great. I really enjoyed Raw. Like I said, Raw of the year in my opinion. Had so much fun. Definitely had more fun probably at this show than the Raw after Mania, honestly. I thought that was a good, solid show, but I feel like here I had more fun and definitely had better segments and matches, if you ask me. So, great show. Really enjoyed that. And yeah, that'll do it for my video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, leave a like below. And as always, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you guys for watching the video.
There's no going back to what's left behind. Tomorrow's a gift, so I'll make it mine. It's thick in the air, it creeps down my spine.